Sexual reproduction. In the previous video I have given you differences, so that points you keep it in your mind and just read. We are also familiar with the modes of reproduction that depend on involvement of two individuals before a new generation can be created. Bulls alone cannot produce new calves, nor can hens alone produce new chicks. In such cases, both sexes, males and females, are needed to produce new generation. What is the significance of this sexual mode of reproduction? Are there any limitations of the asexual mode of reproduction which we have been discussed above? Okay, limitations are there. We have done in differences. First it is of plant, but they will explain you why the sexual mode of reproduction. The creation of two new cells from one involves copying of the DNA as well as of the cellular apparatus. The DNA copying mechanism, as we have noted, cannot be absolutely accurate, and the resultant errors are a source of variation. Please underline what gives you variation. The DNA copying mechanism, as we have noted, cannot be absolutely accurate, and the resultant error are the sources of variation in population of organisms. Every individual organism cannot be protected by variations, but in a population, variation are useful for ensuring the survival of the species. It would therefore make sense if organism came up with reproductive modes that allow more and more variation to be generated. While DNA copying mechanisms are not absolutely accurate, they are precise enough to make the generation of variation a fairly slow process. If the DNA copying mechanism were to be less accurate, many of the resultant DNA copies would not be able to work with the cellular apparatus and would die. So, how can the process of making variants be speeded up? Each new variation is made in a DNA copy that already has variation accumulated from previous generations. Thus, two different individuals in a population would have quite different patterns of accumulated variation. Since all of these variations are in living individuals, it is assured that they do not have any really bad effects. Combining variations from two or more individuals would thus create new combinations of variants. Each combination would be novel. Novel means new. Since it would have involved two different individuals. The sexual mode of reproduction incorporates such a process of combining DNA from two different individuals during reproduction, but this creates a major difficulty. If each new generation is to be the combination of DNA copies from two pre-existing individuals, then each new generation will end up having twice the amount of DNA that the previous generation had. This is likely to mess up the control of cellular apparatus by the DNA. How many ways can we think is of solving this difficulty? We have seen earlier that an organism becomes more complex, the specialization of tissue increases. One solution that many multicellular organisms have found for the problem mentioned above is to have special lineage of cells in specialized organs in which only half the number of chromosomes and half the amount of DNA as compared to the non-reproductive body cells. I have shown you one figure, 23 and 23 gives 46. 46 are there in the human being. 46 chromosomes are there in the human being. And when it reproduces, half of one and half of one is to be transferred to make a new zygote. This is achieved by the process of cell division called meiosis. Okay, if you remember that picture. Okay, let me show you that picture again. See, this picture shows that from male 23 chromosomes and from female 23 chromosomes unite to make the fertilized egg and their zygote, and zygote will be having 46 chromosomes. Okay, this we say DNA copying. half from one and half from one. Okay, haploid, and then I will be getting 46 as a diploid. Okay. Also you can have this one, fusion of male and female gamete. Okay, egg from female, sperm from male, and half genetic material will give you the one human cell. Okay, you can have this picture and understand the point. Thus, when these germ cells from two individuals combine during sexual reproduction, germ cell you can have the gamete, you can say gametes. Sexual reproduction to form a new individual, it results in re-establishment of the number of chromosomes and the DNA content in the new generation. तो उसके बाद कोई problem नहीं होगी. If the zygote is to grow and develop into an organism which has highly specialized tissues and organs, then it has to have sufficient stores of energy for doing this. So energy वाला एक point था differences में. Okay. In very simple organism, it is seen that two germ cells are not very different from one another or may even be similar. But as the body designs become more complex, the germ cells also specialize. One germ cell is large and contains the food stores, while the other is smaller, likely to be motile. Motile means movable. You can underline this line. One germ cell is large and contain the food stores, while the other is smaller and likely to be motile. Conventionally, the motile germ is called the male gamete. जो move करता है वो है male gamete. I'll show you the picture for this. And the germ cell containing the stored food is called the female gamete. जो egg है वो store food store करता है, and the one is which is moving, that is sperm cell, that is from male. We shall see the next few sections how the need to create these two different types of gametes give rise to differences in the male and female reproductive organs, and in some cases differences in the bodies of the male and female organisms. Okay, I'll show you the picture of the two germ cells. This is picture of egg and sperm. Okay, the one germ cell which is not moving, only stores, that is this egg which is in female, and the one which is motile, motile means which shows the movement, is sperm. Okay, sperm always goes towards the egg for fertilization. Okay, there are lot of sperms and which are trying to enter into the layer of the egg for fertilization. Next topic is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Flowering plants, let us go for the longitudinal section of flower. We have drawn this in 8th or 9th standard. This is one hibiscus flower, and the female part is which one? The middle part, this stigma, style and ovary. Okay, that was the female part, stigma, style and ovary. And the anther, filament and sepal. Okay, anther and filament, only anther, together we say stamen, is male reproductive part of the flower, and pistil, we say pistil consists of stigma, style and ovary, female reproductive part. And other labelling sepal, petals. Okay, the reproductive part of angiosperms, well developed plant, are located in the flower. Okay, you have already studied the different parts of flower: sepals, petals, stamens and pistil. Stamens and pistil are the reproductive part of a flower which contains the germ cell. What possible functions could the petals and sepals serve? Petals attract the bees for reproduction. The flower may be unisexual. For example, underline please this, the flower may be unisexual, means only one sex. In that also asexual and sexual reproduction is going on. So unisexual, papaya, watermelon, when it contains either stamens or pistil, or bisexual, underline hibiscus, mustard, these are the examples. Okay, So flower can be both unisexual as well as bisexual when it contains both stamens and pistil. Stamen is the male reproductive part and produce pollen grains that are yellowish in color. You have seen this yellowish powder when often sticks to your hands. If we touch the stamen of flower, pistil is present in the center of a flower and is female reproductive part. It is made up of three parts. We have seen this. Okay, see this one. The swollen part, ovary, okay, downward, stigma, style and ovary. The swollen bottom part of the ovary, middle elongated part is the style, and the terminal part which may be sticky is the stigma. So on stigma what happens? On stigma the from anther pollen grains sit, and from it makes a pollen tube which reaches to the ovary and fertilized with the ovum, okay, ovule you can say, and fertilization occur. The ovary contains ovules and each ovule has an egg cell. The male germ cell produced by pollen grains fuses with female gametes present in the ovule. This fusion of the germ cells or fertilization gives a zygote which is capable of growing into a new plant. This way, okay. So pollen grains sits on stigma and it makes pollen tube reaches to the ovary. In the ovary, ovule is present and they unite. Okay, female germ cell is present, and this we say germination of pollen on stigma. Okay, now afterwards germination. This is the picture of germination. Cotyledon, food store. Okay, you know this dicot, monocot. Okay, in small class. And in between you will be having plumule, that is a future shoot, and radicle, the future root, and afterwards it grows into the plant. Thus pollen needs to be transferred from the stamen to stigma. If this transfer of pollen occurs in the same flower, it is referred to as self-pollination. Underline. On the other hand, if the pollen is transferred from one flower to another, it is known as cross-pollination. This transfer of pollen from one flower to another is achieved by agents like wind, water, or animals. After the pollen lands on the suitable stigma, it has to reach the female germ cells, which are in the ovary, for which a tube grows out of the pollen grain and travel through the style to reach the ovary that I have explained here. Okay. After fertilization, the zygote divides several times to form an embryo which within the ovule. Because it is multicellular, so divides several times inside and it becomes multicellular. The ovule develops a tough coat and is gradually converted into seed. Underline, ovule converts into seed. The ovary grows rapidly and ripens to form a fruit. Underline, ovary forms a fruit. This much main words you underline. Meanwhile, the petals, sepals, stamen, style and stigma may shrivel and fall off. मतलब वो गिर जाते हैं. It becomes dry and fall down. Have you ever observed any flower parts still persisting in the fruit? Try and work out the advantage of seed formation for the plant. For the plant, the seed contains the future plant, that is we have seen in the picture. Okay, the seed, this is a seed. फ्यूचर प्लांट उसको हिला के आप यहाँ पे अलग करेंगे तो वो फ्यूचर प्लांट का रूट एंड शूट दिखाएगा. द सीड कंटेन्स द फ्यूचर प्लांट or embryo which develops into seedling under appropriate conditions. This process is known as germination. Okay, Bengal gram करके चना करके डाल के रखे हैं वो लोग, and then they are showing you this germination. Okay, radicle is a future root and plumule is future shoot. Okay, the next topic I'll be taking in the next class.